Android Lollipop is by far the best version of Android around, but it's still very early on its stages of rollout. Unless you've bought the Nexus 6 or have one of the few devices that has the Lollipop update, you're probably running Android KitKat. But Lollipop is not a software destined to stay on your cell phones and tablets. Wearables have also tasted the new treat, including this guy, which is the Moto 360. So let's take a dive into the latest iteration of the Android Wear software, and if you stick until the end of this video, I'll let you in on a little secret to get Lollipop if you haven't been notified the update is available for your wearable. So this video will be split up in two sections, the actual updates to the user interface on the wearable and the updates to its complementing application on your cell phone. Starting off with the watch face here, from the start it looks identical to the previous version of Android Wear software, and that's because nothing has really changed. But remember when you swipe down to find your battery details? Well, unlike the mute and battery swipe, you can now swipe a full page down, and down comes a notification menu with controls that mimic the Android 5.0 Lollipop on your cell phone. You can either have it show all notifications, priority, or mute all of them. And below that is still the battery life indicator. Swipe this guy over a page and we have a new setting called theater mode, which will turn off the display and turn off the ambient and tilt features so you won't disturb anyone around you when you're watching a movie. And if you want to turn that feature off and turn your display back on, in the case of the Moto 360, simply press the button on the right side. On the next page is a simple option called sunlight mode. This will essentially turn off any auto brightness feature if your wearable has it enabled, and turn the brightness all the way to its maximum. And lastly, one more swipe will give you a settings icon, and this is a much more convenient place to have it rather than digging through the menus and list the commands to get to your settings. And next up is the notifications themselves. They still pop in this dismissible card section, but on the previous version of software, once you swipe them away, they were gone for good. Now, we do have a way to get them back. So say you accidentally swipe away notification, well, you can swipe back up to retrieve a notification, and if there were no other cards available, you would have to swipe from the bottom to retrieve that same notification. It is definitely easier when you have multiple notifications, but I'm not exactly sure this is the best way to do this. One other thing to mention is the ability to block applications from delivering notifications right from the wearable instead of the application. Another update to the interface is the list of commands is now based on the one last used. Now, Google Now will always be the first option, but the rest are ordered by when they were last used. So for example, if you just use your wearable to call a car through Lyft, that would be right below the Google Now option. Now let's switch over to its new application. Now these features will only appear when you do have Lollipop installed on your wearable, but first things first is the list of watch faces available. Click on it and it will expand the list, but it also has a direct link to the Google Play Store for more watch faces. Below that are all the same functions from the previous version of the Android Wear application. Now heading into the settings side, you do have a few new options including watch battery and watch settings. Watch battery will basically give you the same information that your device's battery panel will give you. It will show what is using the most power, the estimated battery life, and all of that kind of stuff. Watch storage will also show you the same thing, but obviously in terms of how much storage you're using inside your wearable. So that's been a brief look at Android Lollipop 5.0.1 for Android Wear. It's definitely a step in the right direction, and hopefully this will increase battery life and functionality for the existing wearables. But if you're still scratching your head on how to install this guy on your wearable, here is the trick. Now, Lollipop has been rolling out the past few days for a lot of wearables, and on December 15th for the Moto 360, it should have hit 100% coverage. But there was a last-minute change and a new build number issued, so every time I checked for updates, it wasn't pulling it up. The trick is to reset your device, which is a full factory reset found in your settings. After doing so, check for updates and it should pick up the new software. Just hit download and make sure you have at least an 80% charge, and you should be good to go with Lollipop. I hope that tip helps out, so make sure to hit that subscribe and like button and leave some comments below with your thoughts on the Lollipop update for Android Wear. And as always, my name is Marco Hanna, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.